It was 3:12 a.m. when my car engine died on that empty Scottish road. No sound. No wind. Just the dashboard lights flickering like something was breathing through the wires. My phone buzzed, no signal, yet a notification appeared anyway. It said, "Don't look up." I froze, but curiosity won. When I looked through the windshield, there was a figure standing in the headlights, tall, featureless, its body made of light and smoke. The next thing I remember is waking up on the hood of my car, every clock stopped at 3:12, and 3 perfect burn marks glowing on my wrist. That's when I realized I never left the Falkirk Triangle. I'd always laughed at the stories about the Falkirk Triangle. People online called it Scotland's UFO zone, 3 towns wrapped in mist and superstition. I figured a night there would make a great story for my channel, maybe even prove how gullible people can be. The first thing I noticed driving into Bonnybridge was the silence. It wasn't the peaceful kind, it felt heavy, like the air itself was listening. Even the GPS glitched, repeating the same line, recalculating, until I turned it off. At a small roadside diner, I asked an old man about the triangle. He didn't smile. He just said, "If the lights show up, don't answer them." Then he turned away like the conversation was over. That should have been my cue to leave. I parked near a hill overlooking the valley, miles from any house. The sky was clear, moon bright enough to paint the fields silver. I set up my camera, a tent, and a small fire, telling myself I'd capture something weird enough to spike views. Around 11 p.m., I started hearing a low hum, faint, distant, like power lines vibrating underground. When I walked 30 feet away from the fire, it stopped. When I stepped back, it started again. By midnight, fog rolled in out of nowhere. It moved unnaturally, like fingers sliding across the grass. My phone said no service, but every few seconds it flashed 1 bar before dropping again. That's when I saw the first light. A single white orb, high above the trees, perfectly still. Then another. Then a third. They formed a triangle and stayed there, silent, unmoving. I lifted my camera, dead battery. Brand new pack, fully charged, now blinking red. I grabbed my phone instead, the screen flickered green and froze the moment I pointed it at the lights. Somewhere behind me, leaves crunched. Footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. "Hello?" I called out, my voice shaky but loud enough to echo off the fog. No response. Just that hum, now louder, vibrating through my chest. I turned toward the tent, but the shape of it looked wrong, stretched, taller somehow, as if the fog itself was holding it up. For a second, I swear I saw a shadow inside, moving, even though the zipper was closed. I took a single step forward, and the humming stopped. The silence was so sudden it hurt my ears. Then, from inside the tent, something whispered, my own voice, replaying the words I just said. "Hello?" My flashlight slipped from my hand, and before it hit the ground, the triangle of lights in the sky blinked off, one by one. That's when I realized I wasn't alone out there, and whatever was walking around my camp knew my voice. For a few seconds, I couldn't move. The silence was so complete it felt like pressure against my skull. The fog had thickened into a wall around my campfire, and the world beyond it was gone, no stars, no hills, nothing. Then I heard it again. My own voice, whispering from the tent. "Hello?" Exactly the same tone, same hesitation, only slower. I took a step back, my boots crunching on wet gravel. The whisper stopped. Something brushed the canvas from inside, soft, like a hand dragging across it. Then a sound I'll never forget, a breath, slow, human, exhaling just inches from the fabric. I spun and ran to the car, fumbling with the keys. When I looked back, the tent was moving, bulging outward in small jerks as if someone was crawling beneath it. I slammed the door shut and locked it. The hum returned, deeper now, rattling the glass. Through the fog, I saw light again, 3 beams descending silently from above, sweeping over the field like searchlights. When one of them passed over my car, the engine died instantly. My phone lit up. No signal, no Wi-Fi, just one notification again. A blank message bubble, then text appeared slowly, letter by letter. "Look behind you." I froze. My rearview mirror reflected only darkness. But then something shifted behind the fogged-up glass, like a shadow pressed against it, human-shaped but faintly glowing. My body locked up. The air grew heavy, thick with static. My ears popped, like I'd gone underwater. Then the shadow moved. It glided past the backseat window, smooth and silent, leaving trails of dim blue light. Every hair on my arms stood up. I wanted to start the car, but the key wouldn't turn. My watch buzzed once and stopped, 3:12 a.m. Every device froze at that exact time. The shadow appeared again, this time outside my driver's side window, only inches away. I couldn't see its face, but the glass began to frost where it looked at me. A faint vibration filled the air, like an engine idling right under the ground. I grabbed my phone and opened the camera. For a split second, the screen showed something impossible, a tall figure of light and smoke, bending toward the window. The moment I blinked, a flash exploded inside the car, pure white. I felt weightless, like the ground had vanished beneath me. Then nothing. When I came to, dawn had broken. The car door was open, keys still in the ignition. I was lying half outside the car, covered in dew. My phone was on the passenger seat, recording timer at 6 hours, 41 minutes. The last frame showed me staring into the darkness, whispering something I couldn't remember saying. But when I tried to play it back, my voice, whispered over the recording. "Don't come back." When I finally started the car, the engine coughed like it hadn't been used in years. The fog was gone, the sky pale gray. For a second, I convinced myself I'd dreamed everything. But then I looked at my wrist. 3 perfect burn marks, in the shape of a triangle, red, raw, and pulsing faintly like a heartbeat. I drove back to town half asleep, trying to convince myself it was just exhaustion, maybe hallucination. Bonnybridge looked the same, but emptier somehow. No cars. No people. At the same diner, the door was unlocked, yet the place was deserted. Only the old man's coat hung on the back of a chair, swaying slightly as if someone had just been sitting there. My phone buzzed in my pocket. No network. No SIM. Still, a new message appeared. It said, "We warned you." I dropped it onto the counter and backed away. For a split second, I swear the fluorescent lights flickered to the rhythm of that humming I'd heard in the field. Back home, everything looked normal until night came. At exactly 3:12 a.m., my bedroom lights blinked twice and my phone screen glowed white. It wasn't a notification this time, just a live video feed. I froze. The image showed my parked car. The same hill. The same fog. Only this time, someone was standing next to it. Not moving. Just facing the camera. I shut the phone off, yanked the battery out, and threw it across the room. But when I turned toward the mirror, my reflection wasn't matching me anymore. It blinked slowly 3 seconds after I did. My chest went cold. I remember whispering, "This isn't real," but the voice that came out wasn't mine, it was deeper, distorted, as if spoken through static. The burn marks on my wrist glowed faintly. Then the room lights flickered off, and from the corner of the dark, something whispered, soft, mechanical. "You never left." My watch screen lit up on its own, 3:12 a.m. The second hand wasn't moving. That's when I understood what the old man meant back at the diner, the lights come for those who call them. And somehow, when I went looking for them, they followed me back. Now, every night at exactly 3:12, I hear that same low hum outside my house. Sometimes it's far away. Sometimes it's right above my roof. And I know sooner or later they'll come back for what they left inside me.